There are many controversial topics in the Bible, one of which is slavery. Because in Leviticus, there's some verses that seem like they're condoning slavery. However, they are not. You see, restrictions tend to be followed more than total bans. Because if you ban it, then that seems hard on the people, and the people are going to think it's unrealistic to follow it, and they're just going to disregard it. But restrictions are more reasonable to them, and so they'll follow it more. And since we see that the Israelites broke every other law that God gave them, they were most likely just going to break a total ban. And since God knew they were going to break a total ban, he decided to restrict it so at least it wasn't that bad of a slavery when they did do slavery. And we know God did do this type of thing because in Mark 10, we see that Jesus was asked about divorce and why Moses allowed it. Jesus says that divorce is bad, but Moses allowed it because of the stubbornness of people's hearts. And so I see that God did the same with slavery. He knew that it was bad. However, he allowed it because he knew they were going to do it anyways, and he'd rather just do restrictions on it so then the people will at least not do that bad of a slavery. Because when we usually imagine slavery, we think of the American type of slavery before the Civil War, which was horrible. But the slavery portrayed in the Bible was a slavery where, let's say, I owed a lot of money and I had a lot of debt. I could sell myself to you, and then you would pay off my debt. And after 6 years, I had to be released after being a slave. And also there was a thing called the Year of Jubilee, where every single 50 years, every single slave had to be released and all their debt had to be forgiven. So if I was only a slave for you for 3 years, even though I'm supposed to be there for 6, but it's the Year of Jubilee, I must be freed anyways. And there were also a lot of laws to make sure the slaves were treated humanely. And so slavery was a very toned down slavery, not the slavery you usually imagine. Not that it was good. It was kind of bad, but it was more similar to being like a butler than it was to American slavery. And also, Christians have always been at the forefront of this movement and have always been against slavery and trying to ban it. The big abolishment movement of the 1800s was led by Christians. The whole Western world doesn't do slavery for the reason of Christians stopped slavery there. If Christianity did not exist, or if we did not lead this movement, there would probably still be slavery in the Western world. And so Christianity can be thanked for slavery being banned in all these countries. And so Christianity has always been against slavery, and God has always been against slavery. Thank you.